Hello everyone, The Right Fiction coming at you with a brand new video. Now this video is going to be sort of an out of left field choice for me, since it's going to be very different from the ones I've released already. But basically this video is going to be me covering which of the starter Pokemon I would pick for each region. Now this topic came up when me and my friend were discussing which of the starters were our favorites and which ones we would pick if we were suddenly dropped into the Pokemon world. And after discussing it for quite a bit, we came up with sort of a rough list each, and then afterwards when my friend dropped the trailers for the new upcoming Gen X Winds and Waves and the new starter Pokemon we're going to be getting from that, I figured, hey, why not? I'm just going to be putting together a video of my picks for each of the starter Pokemon that I'll be picking. Now, full disclosure, haven't played any of the games, don't know anything about them whatsoever, which Pokemon has the highest stats, which ones would be the best ones to choose for a run. So this one is basically me talking about which ones I would pick based on pure initial designs alone, with, of course, me factoring in later their evolve forms as well, and which ones I'll be picking as a partner if I was suddenly dropped into Pokemon World. So, yeah, that's it for the introductions. Let's get started. Moving on over here to Gen 1, the Kanto region, red, blue, and yellow. We have Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. Now, out of every single one of the Pokemon on this list, these three, I would say, in my personal opinion, are peak design, these three. So yeah, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle have absolutely fantastic personality shining through their designs, and each of them very, very unique. And since I grew up with the anime, watching Ash start out his adventure here in the Kanto region, yeah, each of these Pokemon, yeah, definitely had their chance to shine on their adventures with Ash. Absolutely love their characters. Bulbasaur here with the bulb on his back, Charmander, the flame on his tail, and of course the Squirtle, the anthropomorphic turtle, with all sorts of awesome movesets that I saw in the anime that he developed. But each of these characters are absolutely fantastic, and yeah, each of their evolve forms as well, super iconic. Love Squirtle's character in the anime where he was wearing the sunglasses. Charmander and his arrogant and stuck-up personality, and his relationship with Ash was just absolutely fun to watch. And Bulbasaur, the brave and the bold young Pokemon here. Of the three, honestly, I am 100% fine with choosing either of them. So out of all the ones we're going to see later on this list, these three are definitely the toughest to choose from. But in considering all three of them, Charmander would definitely be a number one pick for a lot of people. But for me, after thinking about it and talking about it with my friends on that day, I believe I chose Bulbasaur out of the three of them. But personally, I wouldn't mind picking any of those three, but out of them, I would say Bulbasaur is one of the ones that stick out to me the most. Loved his character, watching him and Ash go on their adventures together. Yeah, he was a great little Pokemon. I would have no problem starting out with him if I was to be dropped into the Kanto region, starting my adventures in the Pokemon world. Now, moving on to Gen 2, the Johto region, which I also watched growing up after the Orange Islands series. Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile. Now, out of these three also have very strong character designs. My best friend loves Totodile. He absolutely loves the little guy. Cyndaquil is also great, and Chikorita, also great. When I first saw these three when I was young, I was absolutely blown away by their designs. I was super excited to see all these brand new Pokemon showing up with excellent character designs, the unique abilities. I loved Chikorita when he first showed up. The giant leaf on his head is very distinct and a very cute, adorable face. Not so much a fan of the evolve forms for Chikorita. Cyndaquil, definitely love Cyndaquil's initial base design. Absolutely cute little echidna character. And then, of course, you got Totodile with his energetic personality. Definitely a standout. Good, fantastic Pokemon. Of the three, just like with the first gen, I would definitely struggle with choosing. I definitely struggled choosing from these three, but I believe after consideration, I definitely went with Cyndaquil's design. Yeah, the way that he fights, how he powers up, and the flames shooting out of his back before he unleashes an attack. I definitely was captivated by all of that. Chikorita's character, possessed nature of Ash, and jealousy between jealous of his relationship with Pikachu, and of course you got Totodile just dancing around all over the place. All of them were really super cool, but yeah, Cyndaquil, of them, definitely love Cyndaquil's design the most. Now moving on to Gen 3, the Hoenn region. Now I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched too much of either the Hoenn or Sinnoh, but I have seen all of the movies for each of the regions. Of them, I've seen Sinnoh the most, and Hoenn, I think I would struggle with the most of choosing out of these three, because I didn't see much of these three in action. More so Torchic and Trico I saw more of. Mudkip, I absolutely have no idea what Mudkip was all about. But looking at this design, it's definitely not impressive. Trico was awesome, especially when he later evolved later onwards. Definitely a cool character. Out of them, I believe I would go with Torchic on this one. Torchic is absolutely cute, and the later one when he evolves into, I believe it was Blaziken, absolutely fantastic design there. Just like with the previous ones, I would struggle between the top two over here, like Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Trico, and Torchic, but Torchic I think is going to be walking away with the win on this one. Alright, Sinnoh, Gen 4, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup. Piplup I absolutely love. Her partnership with Dawn was absolutely a standout in the anime. I just absolutely loved seeing the two of them together, and I can't really just imagine Dawn without Piplup alongside her. Chimchar, also a fantastic character, became one of Ash's most reliable and strongest Pokemon. Definitely an ace Pokemon when he evolved later onwards. And then finally, with Turtwig. Turtwig is just awesome. Just loved seeing the little guy in battle. And each of their designs, like, the first designs for Gens 1, 2 are really, really good. Gen 3 sort of falls off a little bit, but Gen 4 sort of picks back up again, and each of them are absolutely fantastic, actually. Especially their later evolved forms. Turtwig, I love the turtle design with the beak, little body, and the leaves on top of his head. His later evolved form, he grows like a tree on his back, which is absolutely baller. Chimchar as well. All of his flame attacks and martial arts was fantastic, and Piplup was absolutely adorable. Out of the three, I will pick... I think I would go with Piplup. I think Piplup sort of like edges them out, mostly because like I love seeing her with Dawn. And if she just stayed in her base form the entire time, I'd be absolutely fine with that. Okay. Unova, Gen 5. Black and White. I actually watched this story from start to finish when it was being released on DVD, managed to get the whole collection. And out of every single Pokemon on this list, these three definitely have the weakest designs initially, as well as their advanced stages. I mean, Black and White overall, the designs in that one didn't really impress me too much, but Snivy, I love the stuck-up personality that Snivy has. Tepig, his base form is very cute. I'm not a fan of when he evolves, he anthropomorphizes and it becomes a pig that stands on two legs. I'm definitely not a fan of that. And Oshawott, not a very standout design. I mean, his later evolved forms are alright, where he evolves into a much larger otter with the whiskers and stuff. He looked pretty cool. Tepig, I'm a fan of the more base form, but of the three, not really too fussed because I'm not really a fan of either of these ones. But if I was to pick, I'd go with Snivy in this one. Mostly because I really love the serpent form he evolves into later onwards. Gen 6, Kalos region, X and Y. Big favorite amongst fans. The animation for the anime was absolutely fantastic. And watching the battles, and there was just jaw-dropping. Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie. Froakie evolves into Greninja, which is always a fantastic choice. Froakie's a big fan favorite. Chespin, I don't know really much about him. He's cute in his initial form, so I have no idea what his evolved forms are. But of the three of them, I'm just going to be completely honest, Fennekin has always been my favorite of these three. Don't even need to discuss it really too much. I mean, I know everyone loves Froakie, but for me personally, every single time you throw me at the Gen 6 Pokemon, I'm definitely picking Fennekin. Now, Fennekin, like, the base form is absolutely fantastic. Like, out of all of them, and personally, like, out of all the fire types, Fennekin is definitely, like, the best, even, like, when compared against Charmander. And I loved her evolve forms as well. A fantastic Pokemon. Alola region. I didn't watch too much of this one. I've only seen clips of them. I know that Ash becomes a champion in this region. I know that he fights Misty, and she has a bloody Gyarados in that one. I didn't even know that she managed to get a Gyarados. Her fight with Ash was absolutely epic, and Ash winning that championship was just well earned. Really, really fun match to watch, that one. The three designs for the starter Pokemon. Rowlet is cute. Like, little green owl character, leaf owl. Litten is really peak design. Like, when you consider all the four-legged types here, Litten is definitely up there in terms of, like, character design. And Cinderoar as well, that he evolves into, just absolutely amazing as well. Poppy is very derpy in his initial form. I actually kind of like that. Out of the three, I know a lot of people would pick Litten. In fact, a lot of people would just pick the straight fire types because the fire types are OP and awesome. But of the three of them, I'm going with Popplio. Mostly because I know that they evolve into a Merbabe later on. But who cares? Moving on to Gen 8, Sword and Shield Galar region. The one that I watched to the end and watched Ash finally become champion above all champions. When he defeated that absolutely OP Charizard in that epic showdown. That was like the best Pokemon match I ever saw. That was fantastic. Grookey, I love his initial design, but I'm not a fan of his later designs, especially like Rillaboom and stuff. Scorbunny definitely has a strong design, though his name is a little bit weird. I preferred like his later name Aceburn in the anime. Scorbunny is like really good character, like evolve forms, Raboods, and then Cinderace. Each of them are peak designs, really cool, very go-getter, energetic. And Sobble, I love his initial abilities and his base form, making everyone cry with his ability. But later, when he evolves into like Super Ultra Water Chad, definitely makes it a tough pick between Scorbunny and Sobble. So it's, for me, this is a coin toss between Emo Fire Bunny and Chad Super Bond Water Sobble. Honestly, I thought I'd be stuck on Gen 1 the longest, but it's actually, like, this one is actually really, really difficult for me to choose between the two of them. For this go-around, I'll choose Scorbunny. When I come back to it, I could definitely pick Sobble, because Sobble's definitely, like, a favorite of mine, but I think I love, like, Raboots and Cinderace's, like, energy and their character designs later on. So I think they sort of edge out Sobble a little bit, but both of these ones are a top pick for me, so I have no problems picking between either of these two. Definitely peak designs. Gen 9, Paldea, Scarlet and Violet. I have not seen a single clip of this thing except for Jaden's run-through of it when she was testing it out. God, Quaxley, what the hell have you got on top of your head? It looks like a greaser character from the 70s or 50s. So you've got Quaxley, Fuecoco, cute little dinosaur guy, but not really too big of a fan of his later evolved forms. He's a very derpy sort of character. And Sprigatito. Well, I mean, like, out of the three of them, definitely Sprigatito in terms of character design. Absolutely love the little cat, leaf cat character. That's so adorable. Look at that. Wouldn't have a problem choosing him. And finally, Gen 10. Unknown region, I don't think they've dropped the name for this one. Winds and Waves. Brouts, Pombon, and Gekua. Now, on initial inspection, was not too impressed. I think these designs are alright. Definitely not the best, but definitely on the low end of the designs that we've seen so far. I know my friend liked Brouts. Initially, I wanted to go for Pombon because he looked absolutely cute, but then I thought to myself, it's a Chihuahua Fire Dog. Not too big of a fan on that, honestly. Maybe when they evolve, they might become cooler or cuter, who knows? With Brown, he can go either way. But after revisiting the trailer, definitely Gekwa definitely sticks out. I love the sly, mischievous sort of like character design he's got, just sniggering in the background. Definitely looks like a very cheeky character. No problems with choosing him. And yeah, those are my choices, my top 10, well, my 10 choices from each of the 10 regions. Bulbasaur into Cyndaquil to Torchic. Definitely love those little guys. Love Piplup, going to Torchic to Piplup. Piplup into Snivy, no problems there. Snivy into Fennekin, definitely, like, out of all of these ones, like, honestly, I would definitely choose, like, Fennekin as, like, the top of the list if I was to put together top 10 of which ones I would love the most. Fennekin's definitely up there. Poplio, love Poplio, love the derpy initial design, love that. Scorbunny, absolutely fantastic, could definitely go down into Sobble, like, later onwards, that's just, like, a maybe choice later onwards. Sprigatito, and finally Gekwa to finish it off. And yeah, those are my each of the starter Pokemon I would pick for each region if I was to be dropped into a Pokemon world. I would have no problems with having either of these guys as partners if I was to do like a run at each of the gyms. Absolutely fantastic Pokemons. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Gen 10 has in store for us a little bit later onwards. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you all for watching this video to the end, and hopefully you enjoyed my commentary. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on X and Patreon, and I'll see you guys next time.